I'm making this video because I wanted to tell all of you a little bit about my POTS story and what I had to go through to get my diagnosis. I started having symptoms when I was around the age of 12, and it started out as just a little bit of right shoulder pain. I didn't really think much of it at that time, and it just kept getting worse. So I decided to go see my orthopedic doctor, and I had several tests run on my shoulder. He thought it could possibly be a torn rotator cuff, but when all the MRIs came back negative, he didn't really know what else he can do for me, and I went back home to continue on with my daily routines, thinking it was eventually going to go away. I wasn't going to have any more problems until about a month later, when I started experiencing pain throughout my body and not just in my shoulder. So I decided to go back to the doctor, where he went into further testings, including trying to test me for arthritis, which things just continued turning up negative. And the only test that would ever come back positive was my ANA level, and that would spike hundreds within a month. It would just go up by hundreds, and soon a year had passed by and I was still in pain. I began to have consistent headaches, which led to daily migraines, and I tried everything to help it. I tried Tylenol, Aleve, Advil, and nothing seemed to help the pain. And after being to 12 different specialists and running several different tests, including MRIs, nerve conductivity tests, EMGs, ECGs, x-rays, and several different things, I still never really got my answer. The only thing that the doctors would tell me was that I was either stressed or I was crazy. It was all in my head. And soon, 2 years had gone by and my symptoms continued to progress. I began to have trouble with my walking at that time, and all the doctors would tell me still was that it was all in my head and I needed a psychiatrist, and I ended up in a wheelchair for a short amount of time. And I did everything that I could to get back on my feet again, but nothing seemed to work. I just kept falling. I tried everything. I tried doing exercise. I went through physical therapy again, and just nothing seemed to help. I just kept falling when I got up, and I couldn't control it. I started to experience a lot of brain fog, and I was tired all the time. I was weak. I couldn't remember the things I wanted to. And eventually I became more ill to where I couldn't even eat. That may sound crazy to some of you, but those of you with this illness, some of you will understand what I'm talking about, and you'll know what I'm going through. I had gone nearly 2 weeks without digesting any food, and they thought before long that I would end up needing a feeding tube. And I was placed in physical therapy for about a year after that, but it wasn't doing me much good. My family knew that something was wrong with me, and that's when my parents decided to take me to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. Within an hour of being there, they were able to give me the diagnosis of POTS. I stayed for a week to continue further testings to be sure of if that's what it was, and sure enough. And I had been through physical therapy and occupational therapy daily when I was over there, and sometimes even twice a day, and things started to get better after that, and I was up on my feet again, or that's what I thought anyway. Little did I know that the diagnosis was just the beginning. I am 15 now, and I still have problems eating and walking. Those of you who have POTS know how difficult it is to do the little things in life. Even I take small things for granted, but when it's gone, you may never really get it back again. Most people don't have to think about walking. They just do it automatically. But for people with POTS, you have to think and you have to process every move you do. You can't just get up and say, I'm gonna walk. You have to know how to do it, and you have to process it and think about it. One thing that this experience has taught me is that no matter how well things are going in your life right now, never think that something like this can't happen to you, because it can. It's very frustrating to get the answers, and the challenges you face after will only test your strengths to see how strong you are to handle them. It's kind of like when you think everything is perfect, and one day you wake up and your whole life has changed, but you don't even know it yet. At first, I thought I couldn't do it. It seemed like nothing was going my way anymore. Now, after what I've been through the past 3 years, I've realized that hope is one of the main things you need for something like this. If it wasn't for all the support my family has given me, and my friend always being there for me and helping me with the tough times, and all of them just loving me through it, I don't know what I would do or where I'd be right now. Support is very important for something like this. Extremely important for a chronic illness. There's so much more to our stories that other people just don't understand, and they don't take the time to try to understand it. The main thing I want to get through to all of those suffering from this chronic illness is that it does get better over time. Even if you can't see it right now, it will get better. You just have to have hope. We all have our own daily challenges, but we are all strong enough to get through them. I hope I can relate to some of you by making this video. So just wanted to say good luck y'all with this fight, and I wish y'all the best against it. So thanks for watching.